In. I'm chilled today, and I nearly never came to talk to you, but I thought I'd better because where would you be without me? Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. It's really important for the morale of the nation and of the figs. You get it? I want to have a few recaps. So there's loads of things that I've noticed because, as you guys know, I'm new to the industry of the digital world of media, social media. Before all this, literally, I had a 2G phone. So I've updated, I've upgraded. And the reason I had a 2G phone was because I was fed up of breaking my smartphone. It's so damn smart. It can't stop breaking. Sending you to the shop to go and spend money on it. That's how smart they made it. It's a flipping con. So I have now got a smartphone. I tell you, the screen is flickering. I'm in a business. I'm not taking it to the shop because I refuse to spend any money on it. The screen will just have to flicker. Anyway, I've noticed since I've been in this digital world of social media that so much goes on out there. And I think it's probably during COVID that people really got to love social media. I think they liked it, and it was getting everybody through that edge of going to work every day and taking the edge off. Instead of watching EastEnders, basically, or back in the day when they used to have Shakespeare, instead of going to the theatre, we now have social media, and the phone. So my point is that since COVID, I've noticed that people love it. They don't just love it, they rely on it. And it's almost like without it, they will die. Based on that, there's so many trends and variables going on with it all. It's mad. It's crazy, crazy, crazy mad how reliant as a nation we are on the digital world and the phone and what that brings to us. I saw on a woman come in with a cup of coffee to the screen. She put it on the floor and she spoke to you lot. She said, "Good morning, guys. Yeah, how are you? Yeah, come with me." And she took you into her kitchen. She made you another cup of tea. But really, she was just making that tea for herself. She had like hundreds of thousands of followers. And I was like, what is this? Is this real? But it was mad real. I would never be prepared to go that far. Like, I can cook really well. I don't even want to bring you in my kitchen. I want to talk to you guys on a level so that I'm almost sharing my experiences and sharing my message. My journey's been long and it's been really, really difficult. And there's no way that I could put that into words to express that to you within a whole series of lifetimes, because there'd always be something new popping up. But yeah, the media is powerful. So with the power of the media, don't forget to like and subscribe. Like I say, this is weird because it affects how I am. It affects my morale. It affects a lot about my life coming on here and talking to you guys. It's mad. I never thought that this would be the impact that it has, but it does, and it's really weird. So, I mean, with that said, I mean, I can get a lot of messages across on this channel. This was never available to us before. It was more like about rap music, and I can't rap. There's a lot of people that don't rap. So being able to speak your free speech and get it out there, because that's the world we live in, is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. I wanted to kind of talk about a lot of things which kind of all lead to the same thing, which is the cost of living crisis. It's a thing. It's real. It's like, I spoke to a guy today. He earns a lot of money. I asked him if it affects him. He said, of course it does. It was like I was asking him a stupid question, but I really wanted to know, so it gave me a benchmark as to where I am. I don't earn a lot of money, and it's affecting me. I wanted to know whether I should be embarrassed about saying that, or whether it was something that it was open to speak about because it was like a common thing. And I've realised it's really, really common. I heard some statistics on the radio today on Leave Blacks Clueless, LBC. Yeah, I heard some statistics saying that 1 in 4 children that belong to a key worker, all you guys that out there working directly for the government, whether you be a nurse, a doctor, a fireman, an ambulance driver, whatever you be, yeah, if you work as a key worker and you were getting your 20% off during COVID and we were out there clapping for you, 1 out of 4 of your children are living in poverty. Now, the only reason that the radio is able to broadcast that is because that's been recorded. Remember I say about us Brits, yeah, us English, yeah, we love a report. Yeah, we love a recommendation. We love a survey. Because that's how we collect data. And that's how we get to tell people about their business. Yeah. So 1 in 4 children that belongs to a key worker is living in poverty. So if that's happening with key workers, yeah, and they're supposed to be looked after people that are doing a really good service for the nation, then boy, what are we saying about single parents? What are we saying about people that don't work and that are looking for work that haven't even signed on yet? I heard a man talking that he left his house, he leaves everything off. Yeah, the stuff that needs to stay on, I don't know what that is, for whatever reason, he leaves on, he goes to work the whole day. When he comes home, he does what he needs to do, he goes to bed because he's got to go to work the next day. His electricity and his gas is coming up at £80 a week. He lives in a small flat. People that used to leave their heating on, oh, it's cold. You lot are turning it off now. Yeah, because you're realising there's a jumper somewhere or a dressing gown that you can go and fling on that gives you the same benefit, which is warmth, yeah, without paying money for it. The supermarket. I'm staying in the supermarket for much longer than I need to because I'm examining price and product. I don't like to buy name brand. I like to buy what I call designer bits. I don't like to buy the shop name of the thing. People go, oh, it's the same thing. No, it's not. It tastes different. It cooks different. It feels different. It's not the same. And I like to stick to what I know. I don't like to go down in life. I like to either maintain my levels or raise them. So with that said, I'm struggling. And I'm just one individual that has learned over the years and the decades to manage my money really, really, really well. So that when the light is switched on, it actually works. And when I do want to have some hot water to hold the fresh, I can. And obviously I've got dependents. So it's really important that my stuff is together. So I'm struggling. I'm actually struggling in the sense of I have to think about what I'm doing now. I'm learning to say no to my children. Can we have a Starbucks? No. And it's not about because I can't afford it. I don't want to afford it. I can think of much better things to spend my money on. Do you know what I mean? Like a tub of hot chocolate and some milk. I can make you Starbucks right now. I got one of those electric frother things. Do you get me? It gives off the same vibe. That's not it, is it? It's the experience of actually going to Starbucks. Why shouldn't my children be able to do that? And I'm not saying that they can't, but definitely not as regularly as they used to. 1,000% not. Like I said, I'm having to think about what I'm buying. It's a good thing that my wardrobe is pack up her garms that have gone way round every fashion. So I don't need to, I'm not out there on the streets thinking, oh my God, I need something to wear. I'm not in that position, thankfully. I'm just grateful for that. And I'm grateful for that only because back in the day, I spent all my money on garms instead of buying a yard. I don't know which would have been a better position because if you've got a mortgage now, do you know what I mean? Your fixed rate terms have run out. I don't even think they do that anymore. Everything's all variable, and it's variable depending on the state of the economy, and it's a mess. So the digital market, the banks are closing down. Digital market is in full swing. Being part of that is what's going to make you be part of the world. We've known for a long, long time that they've got this thing that in community we call it the mark of the beast. But really it is like what some people call the third eye. You can go as far as to say the Illuminati. But whatever it is, it will be you not having any freedom of movement without them knowing what you're up to. Yeah? Basically, that's what it is. So what I knew as the mark of the beast when I was growing up, that was the talk, that's what it was called, would be a chip. And I always thought that this chip would be either in your head or in your hand. And I think that you can have that now. But actually, more commonly, and the trap that we have all gravely and deeply fallen into is just your simple phone. You can do everything with it now. You can pay for stuff, which is all they care about. As long as you can pay for stuff on your phone, that's all you need in life. You don't need a suitcase anymore. You don't need a toothbrush. You don't need a camera. You don't need, they used to have them video bags with the video. Oh, hold on a minute, I'm just going to get my video camera. Forget that, brethren. You got an all-in-one device that fits all and for all purpose. And it's not seasoning. Do you get me? It's literally all-purpose use that you can do everything with. They've even made the night vision now, so you don't even need to use the flash part of your phone. That you need to press any buttons. It's all automatic and it's all happening for you. And I think, to be honest, I don't know because I'm not in the know, but it's my theory, and it will be a conspiracy theory of a lot of people. The phone is the one that's going to hold everybody accountable to rights of who you are, where you are, and what you are. The car used to be a good one. Your number plate tells whoever wants to know everything about you. But not everybody drives. And they're discouraging people to drive. They've been discouraging people to drive for a long time now. So, okay, this is how they've set it. They set it so that when you are driving, you should drive 20 miles an hour. Everybody's complaining. Brethren, why are you complaining to drive 20 miles an hour? It has a lot of benefits. It doesn't kill people. It saves your petrol. It stops you from running up and down in the petrol station as often as you should. Yeah, because your right foot is what burns out your petrol the most. Yeah, it's not your car, it's not the tires, it's not anything else. It's your right foot first and foremost. Yeah, you keep revving it down. You need to go to the petrol station to buy petrol. So your money's going down, no matter what you say. The more trips you make, the more your money's going down. This is what the government are actually saying. We have designed it so that old cars pay a fine. If you want to go into the West End, you pay a fine. If you want to drive your car too fast, you'll get a ticket, you'll get a fine. Where you want to park, you park in the wrong place, you'll get a fine. They're basically hitting us where it hurts, in the pocket, to say to you, what? Don't drive. Use other methods of transporting yourself, like your foot, like this brilliant London transport system we've set up, yeah, which is much more economical and cheaper than taking the car. Motorbikes, mopeds, like the rate of a moped driver, the rate that they die is mad. I think it's 1 in 5. Yeah, it's crazy. It literally is like, if you're a footballer, you are not allowed to ride a motorbike or drive it because you are higher in your risk of injury. Yeah, that's how it runs on that level. So they put things in place for us to not do stuff and to live a life that will not afford us a lot of financial money. Do we listen? Of course we don't. Of course we don't. You go out of the room. You're going out of the room, you're leaving the room. You haven't turned the light off. The light on your telly, it costs money. You see the standby light? I have turned it off, Mum. I have turned it off, babe. You see that light that I can see shining when I turn off all the other lights, the little infrared thing? It costs money. The heating. I went to my brethren's house. It was years and years ago. She goes, the hot water's run out. I goes, how does your hot water run out? She goes, I put it on the thermostat. I goes, mine's not on the thermostat. She goes, I can't afford for mine not to be. But if I can't afford for mine not to be, just show me how to do that. Do you get me? I didn't realise you could turn your hot water off by the thermostat and control the times that it came on and off, and that when you weren't doing that, it was costing you more money. Did you guys know that? Right, well, there you go. So you got to go in the little cupboard and fiddle around with the buttons and know how your thing works, because again, it's part of what you need to know so that you don't keep on paying out. Paying out. I tell my children every day, if I have to keep paying out to the electric and the gas, when you ask me for that Starbucks, I have to say no. Because that same £10, £15 has to go on a bill. So that gets them thinking about the cost of living. Not the cost of living crisis, the cost of living. Gas and electricity have always been expensive. They're just more expensive now because what we're finding is that people are using resources to the max, thinking that they're always going to be able to afford stuff. Nobody was expecting this to come on top like this for us after Brexit, after 51% of you voted to leave the EU. We've been in it for 50 years, since 1972. All of a sudden, you decided to leave it. Now, we've got no regulations on what food comes in. Yeah, we've got no rules and regulations about the quality of what we're going to be putting into our bodies. Have you noticed in the supermarkets, all the brands are changing? Certain brands are not dealing with us no more. Do you know what I mean? Certain people are not dealing with us no more. It's like we don't deserve anything good anymore because the government have made us rotten. It's only here that we have all these... Listen, I was on the road today. I saw a tree. A tree tall like what? It hasn't got any branches on it, brethren. Never mind a leaf. Never mind to say you're going to suck something out of it to feed yourself. Like what you have in a country where the earth is more healthy. Do you know what I mean? And things are flourishing more. You might be able to go dig a yam, pick a mango, an orange, even something as simple as an apple. You're finding it hard to find one on a tree, unless it's in somebody's back garden, and they're usually rotting, because who wants an apple from their tree when they can go and buy it in the supermarket? We've got it such the wrong way round. Honestly, and it's going to take a long, long time. And they know that, all the people that are taking your money every day, they know they bruck you bad. And you've fallen for it. Yeah? They used to call trap life a life where man was hustling and he couldn't get out of it because he always owed somebody money. That was like classed as the trap life. Trap life now is just being born. Trap straight away. Do you get me? If you've got a brand new baby, you know you put them in a trap. And you know that how the world runs, you're going to be dead and gone, leaving them behind. In what? On a programme that we were talking about a few weeks ago, a lot of people have looked at me and, why is she saying that? She can close the door and just go. I'll leave you lot here, bruv, because you lot are left in hell. It's time to pack and stack, people. If you can't see that now, you're blind. It's like the Meghan and Harry scenario. They made it very uncomfortable for them to stay here, so that's why they went. That's what they're doing to us. Do you get me? Our bodies aren't even designed to cope with this British weather, with this British life, with the water, the hard water like that, making our skin dry. The more cream you have to go and buy. The moisturiser that I was telling you about the other day is expensive, you know. But if you didn't live here, and you lived in a place where the water was soft and the sun was shining, you wouldn't have to cream your skin as much. You wouldn't need so much baggage. You wouldn't need to put your jacket and your coat on when you went out. It's here. Here's the trap. And I feel trapped. And I don't know about the rest of the nation. We'll soon find out, because you guys, from what I see, and I'm not being horrible, but you like to live in denial. It's almost hilarious. Do you know what I mean? You think you're going to be all right, working yourselves to the ground for the rest of your lives and paying your mortgage and worrying about money and worrying about this and stressing and making yourselves ill till your children don't even want to look after you. They just stick you in a home. Yeah, because that's the English way, especially white people. Yeah, your children will stick you in a home. All the stress you're stressing. Yeah, all the worrying you're going to work every day. They're going to stick you in a home and you're just going to die. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what we're all going to do. I deeped it. I was speaking to somebody about it today. I deeped it proper. Do you know you're going to die? Do you know that Doesn't matter what I say. Oh, don't be horrible. Oh, don't say that. Oh, you're being morbid. No, 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 no. It's a guarantee. You are going to die. All of you, including me. What we doing while we're here then? Worrying about cost of living crisis. It's not called cost of living anymore. There's a word on the end of it called crisis. So what, we're going to die? That's what they're basically telling you. Do you know what I mean? You live and you suffer and then you die. Well, hear what? Hear my little conclusion to that, and I really, really mean it. Not me, bruv. I'm smiling, I'm laughing, I'm talking, I'm saying what I want to say. If you don't like it, I don't business. I feel better. It's for you now to go and make yourself feel better. Yeah? Because you know there's nothing to pick on the tree. You know you can't decide when the sun's going to shine. You know you ain't going out there to sunbathe on no beach. Yeah? You have to go miles, quay for a beach. Quay for a clean beach. Do you get me? Quay. Sometimes you have to pay money to get on a plane. You better need a passport before that. Do you get me? And then be unhappy about it all. No. I'm going through the cost of living crisis, yeah, with a big smile on my face. And I'm going through knowing that no matter what, we will continue to eat, yeah. We ain't going to starve and we ain't going to dead, yeah. There's certain supermarkets I don't go in because I really do think that I'm not going to get used to that quality of life. I'm a true believer you are what you eat. How true that is, I don't know. I know that when I get dissected, because I did fill out the donor, once you fill out that form, you know, that donor card, yeah, you know you're on that list forever. So I think my body will be donated. I filled out that form when I was a kid and I thought it was radical and I thought it was cool. Everybody was doing it, yeah. I hope that when I am experimented on in whatever way, I hope my body's of some use. I hope it's not rotten inside that they just, chuck that one away now, so can't use that one. I hope it's not going to be the case. So I hope what you are, what you eat is real. Like I say, I don't know yet because I haven't been cut open. I don't know what my body is about inside. Yeah, and what benefits I'm getting from moving my arm like this because I eat Marks and Spencer's food. I don't know. But what I am saying is what makes me feel good, which is usually the bad stuff as well, actually, which I don't know why nature done that. Everything you like is bad for you. The things that are bitter and, that tastes disgusting and don't appeal to us are all the things that are good for us, are beneficial. What? Go on with that. Things that you're allergic to, you eat because you like. They could kill you. So that I find really strange. But now I've started liking things that are not supposed to be likable. Like, for instance, I will just eat an avocado on its own. I understand an avocado needs nothing else with it except for an avocado. All the accompaniments that come with that is just stopping me from eating the avocado in its natural form, like peeling it and just eating it, like a plum or like an orange or like a pear or like an apple. It's got a massive seed in the middle. It's supposed to be classed as a fruit, but yet still what we've been programmed to do is put it with other foods. So you don't see people eating avocados on the go. I'm doing that because they're good for you. Good for your skin, good for your hair, good for your nails. They're a banging munch. If you've got a baby, a banana and an avocado are one of the only two things that you can put together without actually cooking it, and your child has got a nutritious meal that they will be able to digest. All you need to do is mash it up. But no, what we're going to do is talk about cost of living crisis and go and buy a hip thing that they're sucking up. You don't even know what's in that. And I'm being so serious. They've made the plastic. It's not transparent. You see things that are not transparent, try and investigate them on the inside, what's going on. Because what you can see on the outside usually is not the same. That goes for everything, humans included. Yeah? So we do things because we're so conditioned to spending money. 2 reasons you leave your house: to make money or to spend money. Think about it. It's the truth. It's the true fact. I'm going out for a coffee for a friend. Yes, you're having a lovely social time. You're seeing a friend. You must spend money. Do Do you know what I mean? Oh, I'm going to work. Even, oh, I'm going to school equates to, eventually, the reason I'm getting this education is so that I can get a job, so that I can earn money. I've realised this money thing, it causes a lot of problems. And obviously, but that expression, money is the root to all evil. All roads go there. Every single road, no matter where you start your journey, it goes to that route, and that route of evil. Apparently, it can be used to do good stuff, but because of human brain and human mindset and greed and all the things that really are not that attractive, it doesn't. Money just ends up like toilet paper down somebody's drain somewhere, doing something like useless. And I that's disturbing, because it's this same money that is apparently causing this cost of living crisis and turning people that thought they were rich because they've got money into people that are just poor now. So it means nothing, and it never has meant anything. But the trap, you see, has already been set. Most people have already fallen into it. So how now do you take all these people out of sticky treacle, wash them all off, make sure there's no treacle on every single one of them, redress them, and send them back out there to go and face whatever it is they were facing before they dropped in the treacle? It's a lot of work that's got to be undone, because we've learnt things so wrong for such a long time. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be hard to put it right now. And I really tried not to get on that road. Obviously, I got sucked in here and there. I've got a bank account. Do you know what I mean? I've got credit cards. I've got, I tell you what I don't have though. I don't have store cards. I don't have store cards in the sense of Nectar. Tesco's have got all their nonsense, whatever they've got. Because I understood from a long time ago that, like I keep telling you, they love to collect data. And when they finish collecting data with your name next to it, that's what they'll be telling you have to have. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like they decide what you need. But how do they decide that? Because you let them know. The same thing I was talking about a few weeks ago, signing away your life. When you're signing that form that says, oh yeah, I want a Nectar card. Oh yeah, it's going to give you points. Oh yeah, it's going to do this. What is it not doing? Yeah? What disadvantages does it have? Nobody's ever checking that. Do you know what I mean? I don't sign up for it in the first place because I already understand there's definitely some form of trap going on somewhere with it. Because there always is. Now, there always is with every government. But what I found with British government is they lead you into the trap so early on. It's so hard to get out of. Before you know it, you're normalised. You think this life is normal. You bring your children up to also believe it's normal. Do you know what I mean? And then before you know it, everybody's singing off the same hymn sheet, which is still wrong. And that's the problem with it all, really and truly. Because if we all learnt to turn off the light, if we all learnt that standby button is costing money, if we all learnt that little drip in the tap, is it coming from the hot water or the cold water? If we all learnt that if you didn't pick your rubbish up, the world would be a litter field. If we all learnt global warming, global freezing, dread. They tricked us with that one as well. But in the 80s, they told me that the days would be becoming hotter and this and that and rare. No. It's like this place here has got something that attracts it to it that always makes it bad. Always makes it grey outside. There's certain parts of the country or of London or just the southeast that are always raining. Croydon, for instance, it's always raining in Croydon. Why is that? Do you know what I mean? What have they done to Croydon to make it always be raining? Apparently it's something to do with, they've got this one as well. At 3:30, or in between 3 o'clock and 3:30, it rains a lot. They reckon it's something to do with pollution, traffic, in the air, the clouds. Listen, It's all too scientific. They've got it all worked out. They know what it is. Are they causing it? Yeah? Have they made this all happen? How they got it all worked out so much? How they got so many answers to all these things that are supposed to be so natural, like the weather? I think we need to take more time to work stuff out. I think we need to stop falling into traps so much. And do you know the worst one that we do? We let our children go there as well. We know it's a trap, but yet still, the same values that our parents taught us, that we've taken on, that we know don't work, we're passing on to our children. Not changing those cycles. I've said this before. Again, all roads lead to certain things. I don't deal with money, so I only deal with what's inside and what's real. Yeah, all road always will lead back to that for me. What's real, not what they said, not what he said, not what What's real, and usually what's real is what you feel. If you can articulate that, I tell you what, cost of living crisis cannot hold you. Yeah? You won't get stressed. You know, stress leads to so many illnesses. Because that's what this country is full of. It's full of ailments and illnesses and trays with the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And look how many pills I have to take on all these days. That's all it's full up with. Prescriptions and doctors and nurses and the hospital and 24-hour emergency A&E. And you lot love it. Along with a ready meal and a bit of Netflix. Burning out your money, burning out your electricity, burning out your resources. You love it. So that when time comes now, you can get one of those little things that go on the road, little thing from the government, little trolley thing because you can't drive. Do you know what I mean? Or you're too blind to drive, or you're too old to drive, or you're too demented to drive. You can get a little trolley, you can, and wheel it around the supermarket and be all superior. Do you know what I mean? Because you're British. And it's what Britain's given you. Do you know what I mean? Out of your pension, you can just go around in your little trolley. Yeah, I'm wondering, and I'm betting those little things cost electricity to get going. Yeah, there's some cost in it for you to maintain it. I was saying the other day, and I'll keep on saying it. You have to clean the Hoover to Hoover. You know, the Hoover doesn't stay clean. You just keep using it and using it and using it. And no. One day, you have to take a stop and say, I wonder why this Hoover isn't cleaning anymore. This is a concept. See if you can grasp it. I wonder if this Hoover isn't cleaning anymore. You have to take your time. This is what I do. I sit on the floor with the Hoover, I take it apart, and I clean it. Imagine that I never clean my Hoover. How's my floor going to ever be cleaned? What do I do? Go out and buy a new Hoover? That's how the concept is. That's how that trap is. We don't park our car down the road and walk. No. We park our car in the bay. Yeah. Sometimes we get a ticket for £1. Sometimes you come back to your car, you've got a ticket for £60. The parking the car down the road to walk is never an option for us. And that is what I've got out of. I never got into it. My gran was a very simple woman. She told me early, don't shave your legs. Another concept. Yeah? You start shaving your legs from early, you have to maintain that, brethren. Do you understand what maintenance means? Maintenance means keeping it the same. So it's all right when you're up there. It's all right when you're classed as middle class. It's all right when you're earning big dough. But it's not all right when food goes up, yeah? COVID happens, you no longer have a job, yeah? Who are you then? Who are you? Who are you? Oh, you're not that person anymore. Oh, what happened? Oh. You made all those things make you man. You didn't realise things do not make us man. It's all about what's in here. You didn't realise that because you got caught up in the trap. And that's where you'll never see me. You'll never see me there with you lot. You'll hear me talking about it. You'll even hear me interacting with people that deal with that. But I'm not in it. Do you get it? I don't do it. I don't get involved in it all because I understand the repercussions of it. From a long time, like I said, my grandma's a very simple woman. You know what she used to say? She don't want ornaments around her yard. Why not, mum? I used to call her mum, as you lot know, she brought me up. Why not, mum? Too much stuff to dust, Marsha. It's clever. Clever. That's what you call clever. Did I tell you what she done, my gran? I don't think I've ever told you. I'm going to tell you now. I might have told you. I'm going to tell you again. She told me when I was a kid that she would never have a funeral. She don't want nobody crying over her. They were sensible, my grandparents. They went back to where they came from, yeah, which is what I'm advising everybody to do. Everybody taking it into derogatory. Duh. They went back to where they came from, and they got to sit in the sun and relax every day until they died, yeah, which was the plan always, just not so late. And my gran always said that she would never have a funeral. She don't want no one crying over her when she's dead, yeah. Crying over the dead is a waste of time. Spending money on the dead is a waste of time. A very cold concept, but very, 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 very sensible. Because just think about what I've just said. Crying over the dead is a waste of time. You see, the dead that we cry over, us ones that are still alive, do you know they're fine? They're absolutely perfectly fine, doing better than me and you. Do you know that? I know you don't know that. Because all we do now is feel sorry for us that they left behind. Because that is the worst thing about dying, the people you leave behind. Obviously, you don't think about that when you're dying because you're out. Do you get me? Anyway, this is what the woman done. My uncles, her children, went to visit her for however long. They left on the Saturday. She died on the Monday, knowing they ain't catching no plane to come back. Yeah, knowing I'd already been down there to check her and spent because I understood it. I get it. I didn't feel no way when she died. I was happy for her. Yeah, there was no funeral, people. Not one service. Not one song. Not one anything that anybody had to dress up and take plane and go to, like you see many of us foolish people doing, burning out your money on the dead. They won't appreciate it because they won't know. They only know what you told them when they were alive. And the only person that has to live with guilt, which is either shame or fear, is you. Good. So the woman died. She just died. She got buried 3 days later. She already had her grave and everything set up. When she was alive, she set it up. She walked herself down to... And you see my gran as well. My gran was a woman that never knew nothing because my granddad done everything. He paid the bills. He drove. He had all the social skills. He knew everybody. When my granddad died, my gran was like this. Where's the place to pay the bills? She didn't know where Grenlec was. She didn't know where Flow was. She didn't know where these places was. She'd never done it before. Doesn't make her less of a person. It didn't make her less sensible because she'd never paid a bill. She's just fortunate. She died with no funeral, no burial cost, nothing. You know why? Because she was sensible. She thought of us. So this is what it would have meant if she was selfish, which I call a lot of people these days. It would have meant myself, my 5 children and my partner paying in excess of £10,000 to go to where her place of origin, where she died, yeah, go there and then spend another in excess of maybe £3,000 to £5,000 while we were there, yeah, just because somebody died. And then we were talking about cost of living, crisis. It's almost like, I said to you guys before, stay out of the food banks. We don't need to go food bank. We know about flour and water. We know about saltfish. Yeah? It's not expensive. It's nutritious. It's what we've been living on all our lives. What we don't have here, we don't have the resources, like I say, of the fruits on the trees and the vegetables in the ground. We don't have that. And which is why I advise pack and stack. What we're doing here, I don't know. Everything we're doing here, we could literally take and go and do it somewhere else. Because once you can live in London, you can live anywhere. It's always been really expensive here. My granddad always complained about the electricity and the gas. It's never, ever been cheap. But with all the added things, like I was saying to you before, that we've added onto our lives, of course it's expensive. Whereas back in the day, all they done was they went market, they went supermarket, they didn't go corner shop to buy bits. Do you know what I mean? I see people in my local corner shop, yeah, their basket is packed up of food that is overpriced because they can't be bothered to walk, which is no good for your health. It's all a knock-on effect of the trap. I haven't even moaned today. I haven't even, I come in here, I was quite annoyed and irritable and But actually, as my producer said, it's been really therapeutic talking to you and getting it off my chest and sharing. What you want to take from it is up to you. But I really feel that we all need to chill out and get back to how we know. Yeah? How we know. Having a bath once a week. That's how I was brought up. Yeah? It wasn't until they renovated the yards, like what a lot of people that had a yard did early 90s. Yeah? They renovated the yard, that we had a shower room downstairs, and I could afford, because they could afford, yeah? It was now affordable to have a shower every day. It was never a thing when I was growing up because it was a waste of water. And see me here and seeing my skin, nothing do it. Nothing never happened. So we're going to have to start thinking more inward when we're dealing with the cost of living crisis, as they call it, and going back to ways that they weren't saving money then. They just wasn't spending it. We like to spend too much. We've got too used to this trap lifestyle that doesn't just apply to drug dealers anymore, people. That's the long gone. That's like way back in the 80s when you lot were late. Trap life is for anybody now. Your children, you send them to school, you're living in trap life because you're complaining about what they're teaching them at school. You're in a trap, dread. The only way to come out of the trap is to come out of the trap. Open up the door, yeah, and come out of the trap. They're opening the door for us. They're squeezing the life out of us, mate, and letting us know they don't want us here. The same way they let Meghan and Harry know they don't want Meghan here. Harry can stay. She's got to go. He's just a decent person and decided to go with her. Do you get me? You get people here, 1-1, they're picking up, they're going, they're preparing to go. What if we all went together and done exactly what we were doing here somewhere else? Somewhere where it's more beneficial to how we are. With a bit of sun, something we can go and dig, something we can pick, something we can put some log fire on the place. They don't even need gas, fam. You don't need gas in certain places. The amount of places I've been and there's no gas being used. Man's eating Big King meal out of his Big King pot that he has provided the food to put in it. He provided that food. He went farm and picked his food. He went to the field and caught his goat. He done that. He's still got a phone. When he goes out at the weekend, he still looks Chris. He's still got designer garms on. But he hasn't lost himself. Because he understands that the resources of the land are to be lived on. You can't do that here in this concrete jungle, people. It's impossible. It doesn't work. So, with my speech today, I'm going to call it a speech because that's what I found. I found it was a speech. I don't find it was a rant. I'm not shouting. I think these headphones help though. They do, because I can actually hear myself. And I'm sorry for shouting at you in the way that, because I didn't think you could hear. Seriously, because of this technology. Do you know what I mean? But I'm getting used to it because that's what you got to do. I'm not going to stay long today. I'm going to go because I don't want to start talking about stuff I don't really want to talk about. There are people out there, you know who you are. Don't antagonize me, okay? I'm cool as I am. If you antagonize me, I'm a reformed character. You get me going back to places where I don't want to be. Just leave me alone, innit? Good. I'm happy with that as well. That's what I'm saying about this platform. It's a platform you can get your message across. Do you know what I mean? Even if whoever this whole thing may be relating to doesn't hit anybody that it should. If I feel when I watch it, there are people in my life that need to see certain parts of it, I'll be letting them know about it. I'll be putting it out there. Because it's one thing saying stuff, and it's one thing making out like you know stuff, and it's one thing getting on like you're always right. It's nothing to do with that. It's real. That's all I deal with. Real. What you want to put it down to, what you want to perceive, what you want to make out for it to, you can call it what you like. I feel your business that. I'm dealing with my business. Everybody's got to look about theirs. And then once you've looked about your business, we can all start looking about each other's business. That's the way I think it should run. We shouldn't have things to hide, because when you start hiding things, you don't get support. Do you know what I mean? So you could be hiding up. You're not open. You're not transparent. Yeah? Good luck to you again. There's only you one suffering with what you know. Yeah? Problem is a problem shared, mate. And with this cost of living crisis, what they call it, support is what can be given, yeah, even if it's an ear to listen to, yeah, in these times here. Because no matter what, you're still going to have to find money to pay the bills. You get me? So in the meantime of that, your well-being and who you are as a person, yeah, really important. And all that self-reflection stuff I talk about, it all got to come into play. And then it helps you cope with what they call the cost of living crisis in a much better way, because it's happening anyway. It's about managing and coping with it, which is what we've discussed today. You know, how are we managing? How are we coping? Like I say, I'm not lowering my standards. I'm maintaining. I call that hanging on in there. I call that head above water. Do you know what I mean? I ain't sinking. I ain't going down, and nor should you. It's going to take a lot of forward thinking. It's going to take a lot of inclusion. It's going to take a lot of learning to work with difference to get through. And I wish you guys all the best. Peace out. Do not forget to like and subscribe.